fine, 'cause you're an asshole tonight.
No, I didn't even write a statement down. All right, jabronis, we're back. Welcome back to the Libretti Podcast Diary Show. I'm your host, Libretti. We got a big day today. We got a lot of shit going on. So first, I want to explain we're in a guest studio. As you saw in the picture I posted yesterday on Instagram and Facebook, it's at my brother's house and his roommate Pistol Pete, who's actually behind the scenes. He's on mic. He's behind the scenes doing like production editing work for us to make sure we actually have a good professional situation here, not like at the studio with the Resolute desk where it's sort of a circus act there when I do it by myself. But Pete, thanks for being here.
Anytime, guys.
And then of course we have my brother here, Nick. Thanks again for coming on.
Am I the only returning? Am I the only guest?
You're the only guest so far. We were supposed to have another guest, but he fell through. In the 11th hour, due to a COVID situation. It was going to be Helmet, but
Helmet? Oh, poor guy.
but next time we'll do that. So before we get into it, right off the bat, I want to take care of some like administrivia, if you will.
Administrivia?
Yeah. So
is that a Latin word? You learned that from Zinsmeister?
Yes, I did.
Administrivia.
Right. So last week, I gave the shout out to Phil Ramey for the treasure hunt, getting the treasure hunt correct.
He was your pitcher, right?
He was a pitcher, yeah, for Embry Riddle. The wet cat, we call him. And he got, that's a long story, different episode. So Phil Ramey, he got the Trinity Church immediately off the treasure hunt on Instagram. He got it within seconds of me posting it, actually. But another fan, listener, friend, he's actually a brother in arms, Dom Delapia. On the technicality, he got the address correct, and it was first to identify the address. So I want to make sure he gets the shout out for the technicality. But for future treasure hunt identifications, the address will no longer play.
You got to give like what the context.
The context, the movie. It's always going to be like a movie reference or pop culture or TV, something that's what we're looking for. So reality, he was wrong. Technically, he was correct. And I know Dom is a very technical human being, so I wanted to let him know.
You can't show like the field from Field of Dreams and be like what is this place?
This
like,
is 11 Cornfield Lane.
That's old Frank's farm.
Right,
like,
so we're not doing that. Yeah.
What is it? Dom Delapino?
Dominic Delapia, Italian type from New York.
He sounds like he's like a councilman
he's great.
from somewhere.
Yeah, he's a great dude all around.
Just move your mic back a little bit, that's all.
Move my back?
Yeah, just away a little bit.
All right, yeah, I close up like I'm sucking a dick. But we don't do that here. It's a family show. So another thing that Dom brought to my attention too, actually, he was sending me a reference, what he thought was, so we talked about the Cage Fact last week, was how he has gone from worst to first in movies in the same year on Rotten Tomatoes with 0% rating and then a 97 rating.
For
it was Deadfall and then Red Rock West.
What? I don't even know either. Which one? When was this?
I forgot the years, but Deadfall was 0%. When you see the picture, the album cover of it or whatever, you'll know why.
No, I know that, but didn't he, like, when was the last time he had a 97% rated movie? The only one I could think of was the crazy horror one he did when we were with the...
Mandy?
Yeah,
well, the Red Rock West was the same year as Deadfall, is an older movie.
But I was saying that's an older one.
Yeah, those are older.
Okay.
Wait, so Dom sends me a screenshot of Rotten Tomatoes from 2019 movies that Cage did, and he thought that it was the movies I was referencing in last week's episode, and he was saying, hey, you said 97%, it was 95%, or vice versa, or something.
Who is Dom, and why is he so...
He checks me. He keeps everyone in check.
Checker?
Yeah, he always
he's
keeps
the
everyone in check.
CNN of your podcast.
So he sends me the screenshot. Little did he know, or did I know, that this was an additional worst to first for Nick Cage. So we talked about how he has the incredible ability to make shit and gold in the same year. And this is just proving again that he's done it in multiple years.
At least 3, because the year he did Mandy, I guarantee he did a bullshit that year too.
100%.
And Mandy was like 90% rated.
So when I have some more time on my hands, we're actually going to dig down the rabbit hole a little bit and come up with some sabermetrics, some analytics on all the Cage movies from worst to first, and kind of give you a little graphic on that for a future episode.
It sounds
But-
like Dom's the guy to do that. He sounds like he's very.
we already started talking about it a little bit. We started going down the rabbit hole a little bit already. So we'll do that at a different time. So stay tuned for that. But for this week, the treasure hunt was the headquarters of Men in Black. I don't know if you guys saw that.
I did. It was the Battery Park.
Battery Park. Yeah, I was running by there earlier this week, and I saw it. And I was like, done. Treasure hunt. Snapped it. Posted it. Now, the wet cat, Phil Remy, got it within seconds once again. So I give him the shout out one more time because I did not caveat that you can't have repeat offenders. He can't get no more multiple shout outs in a row. We have to alternate. We can't because he'll win it every time. His paws are too quick. So
You should make either a sticker or a button that you send to the winners. And then they can repost it I won the Libretti
so that's
treasure
the
hunt
thing
challenge.
Is, I
You
have to
get
do
a button with Nick Cage and the map. And the
I
treasure
have to
map.
give merch out or something.
Yeah.
That's the prize.
Something cheap.
The
Something cheap
shout
you
out
make.
right now is not going to play for long
Because only
12
people are here.
people at any given time are going to listen to the shout out. So I do appreciate that people are guessing. It's getting a lot of play, which I
Right.
like, and there's a lot of good comments, which is great.
You're not gonna have a lot of good ones when you go back to Maryland.
Right, no, I'm going to have the Washington Monument. I could still do some Nick Cage related stuff.
Oh, you could do all Nick Cage related stuff.
Oh yeah, no, and I can't. We can't talk about that right now because we'll talk for hours about that. So maybe that'll be a different episode about all the Nick Cage stuff that can play down there. But so Mike Abbott, another brother in arms and a future teammate on the unit I'm working with, he'll be up here soon. Mike Abbott actually was the real shout out, the real winner. He got it right after Phil Remy did. So shout out to Big Mike Abbott. Thanks for that. Can't wait for him to get up to the DC area so we can
Is he related to Tank Abbott, the old
kill
UFC
bad guys
fighter?
together. He might be related to Tank Abbott.
You know who Tank Abbott is? He was
he's a fighter.
But you know what he was famous for? He's the one who fought John Favreau in the Friends episode.
That's right.
when
That's
John
correct.
Favreau, I
Yeah.
want to be the ultimate fighting champion.
That's right. I forgot about
was
that. I don't
Tank
know if
Abbott.
his last name is pronounced Favreau, but I know who you're talking about.
yeah, it's John Favreau.
Yeah. So anyway, that's the admin shit for the day. We'll talk. We got a good little junction topic we want to discuss for nostalgia purposes. But in the meantime, let's just step into the cage.
Okay, let's run.
How does he do it? Is it finger guns or is it like how does he do it?
Well, you'll see in the clip right after.
Yeah, but that's like an hour from
Yeah,
now.
it's like. All right, so I got my notes on my computer again since I'm a visiting guest in the studio.
What do you do when you're at home?
I usually have it on my sponsor notepad.
Oh.
Yep.
Sponsored notepad?
Yeah, for sponsors only, for sponsorships.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, so today's sponsor of the End of the Cage segment is Zachary's Vape Pen Holding Sticks. Do you own one of those giant dildo-sized vape pens and don't have the alpha strength to hold it up to your stupid mouth? Then visit Zachary's, where he has the finest selection of selfie sticks designed specifically to hold your vape pen so you can continue your transition into full beta bitchness. Visit www.dickstick.com/goddamnloser to get 6.8% off your first order today.
Did you work out that coupon with them? 6.8%? That's what they were willing to give you?
Yeah, so we negotiate, and that's the thing, as you'll see on episodes of the LPDS, that I continue to negotiate the rate with these sponsors to get the best deals possible for the listeners.
So they came at you with a normal 5%,
Five.
and you're like,
Standard five.
I will not settle for less
And I
than
said-
6.8. Is,
well,
is
so
my
no,
point.
so what? Yeah, we kind of go back and forth. I let them know that hey, last week Kyle's custom Honda Civics, he provided 6.6%. So you want to be a sponsor on a top program like LPDS, then you got to
you got to play ball.
That's right. Yeah.
We're
You-
playing the big leagues.
right. You got to put your money where your vape pen dildo is. So 6.8% for you guys. Go check it out. All right. So the cage fact today. I like it.
Is
So-
it everyone? Is it the one that you don't like?
Well, that's the caveat here is I like them all. By the way, real quick, I have to mention this up front. I forgot to earlier. I'm wearing another Cage sleeveless. It's going to be an X-rated episode, Terrence, just to give you a heads up. There's going to be nip slips all day with this shirt, but that's what you get. So if you don't like it, too bad. All right, so the Cage fact today. In 2010, Nick Cage went on David Letterman, and he talked about his cat, Lewis. Mm-hmm. Now, I don't know if Lewis is still alive. He's probably not. But he talked about how his cat would always get into his bag of mushrooms, magic mushrooms, and eat them. So one day, Nick Cage decided to let him get into the bag, eat a couple mushrooms, and he ate mushrooms himself. Cage did. So they were tripping balls together. And he said, now this is a quote from the interview, "I remember lying in bed for hours, and Lewis was sitting at a desk staring at me. We were looking at each other, not moving, but he would stare at me, and I had no doubt that he was my brother."
That sounds like something you would say on mushrooms.
Oh yeah, about
We were brothers.
That's the thing is when I read that, I was like, that is like once again the most Nick Cage story of anybody tripping on mushrooms is. I knew then that this cat
He
was my
formed
true blood brother.
He formed a bond with a cat.
Right, brothers. So that's the Cage fact
Well,
for today.
really quick, just because I don't mean to surprise you, but Pete has a slight personal Nick Cage fact with your aunt that I thought now that you're a guest, you might like to share with Aunt Stace.
Oh. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Pistol, come on in.
So I've got one. So Nick Cage actually has a mausoleum that he purchased to be interred after he passes in New Orleans, and my aunt and uncle actually bought a tomb like 2 rows down from Nick Cage's, and the best part about it is Nick Cage's tomb is a pyramid, just like on the dollar bill.
It's fantastic. So that was a fact from a couple episodes ago about the tomb. The pyramid tomb, that's incredible.
Yeah,
that you have relatives
in the afterlife.
Aunt Stace paid top dollar for that.
Oh, you have to.
She was like, "This is kind of expensive. Like, it's 2 rows down from Nick Cage. We'll pay double."
Yeah,
I want to die now.
that's going to be incredible because now their ghosts will be friends, possibly.
Absolutely.
And that's it's one of those haunted, like creepy New Orleans cemeteries, like where they do the funerals, everyone's dancing.
Oh yeah,
It's
all
like
the
one of
ghosts are
those-
dancing and the voodoo dolls are moving.
Didn't he buy a haunted house in New Orleans?
Another Cage fact. That's right. He bought Madame LaLaurie's
From
haunted mansion.
American Horror Story.
So
the
he
season
can-
with Kathy Bates, where she was like, she kept the slaves upstairs and like killed them.
Yeah.
it was a real person. It was a haunted house, and Nick Cage bought it for like Nick Cage money.
Yeah, a lot. He bought it in 2017 to write a horror novel.
He bought it in 2017. He was already like super in debt in 2017.
Oh, maybe it was 2007. Excuse me.
Yeah, he was
it
already,
2007,
like,
and
already
then
in
2
trouble.
years later. I just know there was a 7 and 9 involved in the year, and it was 2 years after he bought it, he foreclosed on it.
Yeah.
And needless to say, the book is not done yet because the mansion's gone. So
It's now a Chick-fil-A.
So everyone got like a good like fact history. Like go back to other episodes. You can get more into the weeds on those previous Cage facts. But we got double Cage fact today, so I appreciate that.
Is you should do like Joe Rogan. You know how he had, like you just find like clips, the different Joe Rogan clips. Is you should do a clip video of all the facts like every season,
Like a clip show?
like a 20-minute clip show. Of all
Yeah,
the
I
facts
plan to
of it.
have my producer do that when I make it big.
Who's your producer? There he
right.
is.
Right now,
How's it going?
right now, my producer's busy. Normally being me and doing other stuff, but we do have Pistol Pete as the guest producer, so maybe I'll pay him to do that. But
Get a Cage fact up.
yeah. Anyway, let's jump into Jabroni Junction. We'll flip the little logo up there. So today we're talking about it's really a New York City legend.
I think he is. I think he's more well known than we think he is. I think he was a staple of the New York City food underground.
I think so too. So I think the jury's still out on whether he's real or he's a ghost. I don't know for sure. I know
we've met him.
I know we met him,
We've
but
met him.
Ghost hunters meet ghosts all the time.
Yeah, but I don't think. I think they go to haunted places and they run. They like know. Like, oh, you're obviously a ghost. You dressed up like a gangster from the 20s. This guy, unless he blended into modern, well,
He did blend like a
1999's
ghost.
modern society.
Right, like a ghost. I don't know. But anyway, he set up, he was a hot dog guy. Well, let's talk about, let's just kind of set the stage. A hot dog vendor in New York City, okay?
Late 90s.
Yeah, like noir 90s.
Giuliani's in charge. Things are going great.
Things were great
for a
back
little
then.
bit longer.
Yeah. for only a couple years more.
For only like 2 more years.
Yeah, before they took a bit of a dip. Anyway, he's got a mustache, like a New York style mustache.
Oh, I'll be honest, I don't remember what he looks like.
Yeah, mustache. He wore the golfer's cap, like
The Mario cap?
not like the Super Mario cap, like the golfer's
Isn't
like Chubbs Peterson
Yeah, isn't that
or
kinda the same hat?
or Al Scalingi special.
Yeah, it's kind of
Grandpa
like
Al.
that's kind of like the same hat, like
Sort
the
of,
Italian
yeah,
cap.
similar.
Italian cap.
Yeah, like an Italian cap. Peaky Blinders, they wear it with the
Yeah.
blades in there. If you watch that shit.
A manly beret, if you will.
Yeah, so he wore that. He had so the tan rain jackets, the executive from Seinfeld, like that tan rain, that
like
long
the one
one.
Dad has.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like that. It was that color, but it was like a tweed fabric. But it looked like, from far away, it looked like the executive rain jacket, except it wasn't. And then he had a scarf, and it could have been
kind
the
of
summer.
dressed like a British guy with the mustache, the hat, like that, the tweed jacket.
Right, he was dressed like he worked the push carts back in London, like rainy, foggy
sir.
London. But it was not London. It was New York City, and it was winter, summer, no matter what. That's what he was in.
It wasn't Victoria, London. It was New York City, circa '98.
Right, and it was like That was like his uniform, no matter what. Neither rain nor sleet nor shine. He was like the postal worker. Yeah, it stains everything. And so he had his hot dog stand, and I don't want to say it was an old school stand. It was a no nonsense hot dog stand outside the courthouse.
It was like the soup Nazi of hot dogs. Like you
Right.
knew, you had to know what you were getting into.
Right. It wasn't, and when I say it wasn't old school, where it wasn't just hot dogs, it was no nonsense, and it was hot dogs, knishes, accoutrement, relish, mustard, ketchup.
I think he did pretzels.
And maybe some pretzels, like the little pretzel window.
Yeah, the little pretzel carousel.
The carousel that usually has like choice meats on it. He had pretzels. Yeah.
Now it has choice meats, but back then, this is the '90s. You had 3 things.
Right. So what he did, and it's not just, he wasn't just a hot dog guy giving out hot dogs that made him a legend, and that he wore the same crap all the time.
He invented something.
What he did was he created a movement.
Well,
if
first
you
we
will.
got to explain what a knish is, because I doubt. Oh,
that's right.
Know.
You're right. So
think of it this way. Think of, everyone knows what a potato pancake or a latke is. So a latke is basically like home fries, like you get from a diner, that are egged, and then you fry them together into like a patty. So it's like a hamburger-sized patty. That's what a latke is. A knish, think of the same thing, but instead of like shredded potato like home fries, think of mashed potato.
It's mashed potato.
So it's mashed potato that's like kind of put into a square. You would say a ball, but it's like a rectangle.
Yeah.
And then it's like battered, and then it's fried. So it's like
fried or baked.
Yeah, like think of, it's like a crispy outside, but then inside is soft mashed potato. So that's,
Right.
it's a
It's
Jewish
a mashed potato
delicacy.
pocket.
Yeah, it's a mashed potato pocket.
Yeah, it's from the
It's a Jewish delicacy.
Ashkenazi Jews. I looked it
Ashkenazi.
up.
Like
I don't
Michael
know if I
Rappaport?
pronounced that right.
Yeah, Ashkenazi, like Michael Rappaport.
Right, Michael Rappaport and our brother-in-law
Dick
Ben.
Steen Donald.
Yeah. So that's what a knish is. So most hot dog stands, as you know, in New York, if you've been there, for the 2 followers that are from New York probably that know what we're talking about.
That are in this room.
Yeah. You get the dirty water dog, and you put it in the bun, you load up with relish and sauerkraut and all that crap, and you're eating it, and the thing is falling everywhere.
Well, you know,
really
what's the secret gem of a hot dog cart's ingredients? You know what the secret gem is?
like sweat?
No, like it's an available option, but like no one. It's the onions in the sauce.
Oh, yeah.
But
yeah,
it's
yeah,
literally called, if you buy the jar from ShopRite.
It's like hot dog stuff.
It's just called, it's like, what's it company? Sparrett? What's the hot dog company?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about, but
It just says like Sparrett, it says onions in sauce.
Yeah, that's it.
all
That's right.
says.
You're right. I completely forgot about
It's like,
that.
it's just onions in like a red, it's like not even, I don't want to call it tomato sauce. It's some kind of red juice.
Yeah, it's
like in
the
a juice.
Yeah, it's like the Barbasol at the barbershop,
Yeah, but
except for hot dogs. Yeah. So, you don't like the bun. It's sloppy. You got to sit down, have a plate, maybe a fork and knife to
it's
scrape up.
It's a quick meal. It's like,
Right.
I got to go to a meeting, I'm going to grab one of these.
Right. So what this guy did with this legend, buddy. So he used to call everyone buddy. Hey, buddy. I think that's the only thing he knew, that, and he knew hot dog jargon.
Yeah.
I don't think he knew any other English whatsoever besides that.
He knew the lexicon of the hot dog
Right. He knew the
world.
dog lingo, and that was it.
Dog.
What he did that made him the legend was the hot dog inside the knish.
It was revolutionary.
So I'm gonna paint you a picture here, because I don't have one here for YouTube, and I know there's podcasters that listen in. So
we did have one, but
we ate it before recording while we were setting up. It took a lot of work.
Johnny,
here,
was that
so.
a prop? Yeah.
Yep.
Oh.
So that one's gone. But he would take the knish, the little mashed potato pocket. He would slice it open on the top. He wouldn't cut it in half. He would slice it on the top like a surgical incision. Slice it open with something. I don't know what. Maybe his fingernail. I don't know what it was.
His dirty Hungarian fingernail, or whatever, wherever he was from.
Whatever he was from, yeah. And then
His dirty Albanian finger.
He would take that. He would hold it in one hand. Then he would take the hot dog daddy out of the dirty water with the tongs, and he would almost like. And maybe just because I was a kid and I wanted this to be how it was, but it was almost like he tossed it up into the tongs, sliced it like hibachi,
No,
and then he caught it in the knish.
I gotta tell you, he didn't do that.
Yeah, but
I think he would take it, he'd drop it on the floor, he would cut it in half.
right, but when
he
you're
would drop it again.
when you're 10,
you're
11
10,
years
yeah. Oh,
old,
no, it was a big deal.
That's what you saw. You saw it, the dog flip in the air, some samurai or something come out, slice it. They both fall straight down, 2 slices of dog straight down into the knish. And now not only do you have a knish and a hot dog in one, you have like a bowl to dump your fixins in, your accoutrement. You can load it with kraut, relish.
He would shoot the mustard in it. Like he would push the sides of the So you know how when you have like a cigar case, and if you push the sides
out, it'd pop the pocket open.
He would pop the pocket open with the hot dog still in, and just like the yellow mustard, like and just
and fire like a hibachi. It was a show. It was a show.
And then he would put it in his back in his belt,
put it in his holster inside his executive jacket.
His Batman utility.
That's right.
His Nathan's utility belt.
Right, and he would never say again. He would only.
No words. It was quiet.
He'd only speak in buddy and hot dog jargon.
He was like the man with no name for the Clint Eastwood movie.
That's right.
Just like for hot dogs.
That's it. Just for hot dogs.
And then as soon as you would like, oh, this is good, you would turn around, you look back, he was gone.
Yeah. So you would have what was essentially how they have soup in a bread bowl?
Yeah.
It was that way before that and way better than that.
It was way better.
Because
and it was genius. Because how many guys, you go to any hot dog stand today, they're selling knishes, they're selling dogs, nobody's
He was
doing
living in
that.
the future.
Yeah, he was, but
he was
even
living
more.
in the future.
This guy was living in 2025 back in 99.
Oh, yeah. And the fact that it was like taking 2 worlds and slicing one open and putting the other one inside of it.
What 2 worlds?
It was the hot dog world.
The German and the Polish?
Yeah, the Frankfurters and the Knish dogs. And and it was almost like I wish I was there to see the creative process, unfold, where it was like, man, these hot dog buns are really becoming a problem for my customers in his head because he's not speaking out loud in English.
Do you think he had like a sit down and he was like, how can I make this easier? Or do you think one day he did it and it was like, oh, I did not even realizing he did it? I gotta hurry up and go, and like I have no more buns. Let me just throw it in here so I can like eat on the.
I don't even know if it was any of that. I can completely see it being one of those things where it was like he ran out of buns one day, or it got the buns got wet in the dirty water, and he was just like, "What you wanted in the knish?" Okay, boom, and then everyone, then that guy who got the first customer
told everybody,
patient 0. Saw this and was like...
told our dad about it.
He's talked to JPL 2. It was like, look, the next time you're at the courthouse... Three, yeah, our dad, not our grandfather. I mixed up JPLs again.
Grandpa wouldn't go for that. It's too ethnic.
No, it was too...
He would eat the knish and he would eat the hot dog, but they gotta be separate.
They can't mix. Yeah, you can't mix. So... That's I think how it started. It was a word of mouth where he passed the message, and it spread faster than COVID, faster than the China virus. Hey, you got to go to this guy outside the courthouse. Are you a lawyer? No, be a lawyer. Go to the courthouse. So,
oh no, it wasn't. It wasn't the court. You know where? Well, it was right outside of the police headquarters. One police plaza.
Oh yeah, in that same area. They're all within blocks of each other.
That's why he kept going on Law and Order. That we would see him in the Law and Order episode.
That's right. He would pop up, and you would if you looked
You would
carefully.
see Jerry Orbach getting
Yeah, you would see like the background actors. You could see their face when the first time that they noticed what the revelation was, because they would get it. Everyone gets their hot dogs quick in haste when they're in New York. They got things to do.
They
They're
got
moving and
murder to solve.
shaking. Yeah, they got murder to solve. They're just like hot dog go, and they look and they're just like, oh my god. And you could see it in the background. They're like,
And Jerry Orbach made some like Jerry Orbach, like they were getting a hot dog and like, what do you think about that murdered German guy? Like, oh, I think it was one sauerkraut. And then he would have
and then they would pop to Buddy in the back to just, it was like an unofficial sponsor, real quick but subliminal message though.
because Dick Wolf was a customer and was
He
I gotta get
definitely
this guy
was.
some screen time.
He's got to get it, yeah. But Buddy he couldn't speak English, so he couldn't agree to any sponsorship terms. So they had to just go unofficial in the background, like pop to him.
Where do you think he was from? Like, where do you oddly think he was
He
from?
could have been from anywhere. I don't know, because he only said Buddy and hot dog and knish.
You
So
were
the
older than
accent.
me. What accent? Like, I don't remember.
It could have been Armenian. It could have been some
think
Eastern
Armenian.
European. But he looked like a white. Like he did not look like he was
Like any kind of ethnic thing.
like a Middle Eastern or Israeli or anything like that. He could have sounded like it, but
I could see him being from like Georgia, the country, not the place, not the state, like the
yeah,
country. Of
yeah.
Georgia.
He looked like he could have been from Georgia, the state, but he sounded and acted like he could have been from Georgia, the country.
Yeah.
yeah, for sure. That could have been it.
Georgia, the country, is just basically the Georgia of the
Of
Balkans.
Yeah. Next to Bosnia and Herzegovina, of course.
And Moldova,
Right.
It's
But
the Mason-Dixon line of the Balkans.
that's right. Now, I like to put the tinfoil hat on real quick and take us down a little bit of a rabbit hole, because I was thinking about this driving over here today, and really, since I've been in New York for work, every second of my day.
Have you tried to go find him?
Well, here's the thing.
Okay.
So I haven't had the time to dedicate directly to finding him. I've been in our
It
newer.
requires it's a search. So you got to put it
Yeah.
together.
So I've been to that area in passing for work recently, and I had to walk home from work through that area one time, and I had to go somewhere, so I couldn't just spend the time looking around. It was off hours too. You weren't getting hot dogs at this time of day, but he wasn't around.
Yeah.
Now I also know that JPL2 has not seen him in years.
JPL3. How are you getting this
God
wrong?
damn it.
Look at the inside of your arm.
JPL3.
Look at
That's
the
what I
inside of
got.
your
Yeah.
arm.
All 4, 3. 3 has not. 2 has definitely not seen him because he refuses to see the progressiveness of
And he's also
Buddy.
he's only been dead for 10 years.
That's right. Yeah. that makes sense too.
The only hot dogs we would
may
get
rest
is
in peace.
either Grandma would make us hot dogs, or he would like
Al
Dad would-
Scalingi, but it's a different side of the family.
No, Grandpa Libretti would trick me into going to Home Depot with him because there was a Nathan's inside the Home Depot in Queens.
That's right. Yeah, yeah.
I used to
So
always get tricked into doing things. For
he would
fun.
say, "You want to get Nathan's?" You would say, "Yeah," and then he'd be like, "Tricked you. You're doing work
we
for
gotta
me."
go build this shelf first.
That's right. Yeah, this Franken shelf.
This Da Vinci shelf.
Right.
So
So
go on.
I did a quick search. No one's seen him. No one has any eyewitnesses or anything in years. And they would have seen him or experienced him because they would have not been able to stop talking about the hot dog and the knish.
Well, I'm gonna be the counterpoint just for the sake of entertainment and content. Besides this guy, and we're also, we're special. Like, this is something that is important to us.
Yes.
To the average person, are they like Googling like a certain hot dog guy? Like, Pete, is there like is there a certain food vendor that you remember from your childhood that you would like actively? You think there'd be a community based around this food vendor? Like, is there like a cotton candy guy or a snow cone man from your past that you think would be like important enough for this?
Dominic's Pizza in Toto in
That's an established place that has like a Google page and I'm talking about like a wandering vagabond of goodies.
Well, I mean, it
A
used
mobile station.
well,
if
it
you will.
used to be the halal guys. The halal guys
But
used to
they're-
be that down. No, but this is the thing. They made it big.
They commercialized.
They
it.
commercialized.
They made it big.
Yeah. Maybe
Big halal. So wait. So let me tell you what I think happened. Now, for the listeners not from the area, not from the Northeast, or even people that work in the city a lot, this is not gonna affect you at all because you probably never experienced anything like this. But for the people in the city that has experienced this, know the impact that he's had on
our lives.
on the area and our lives. he changed the game for hot dogs and buns. So much so that I think Big Hot Dog Bun got to him.
You think Wonder Bread? You think Mr. Calandrello got
I
to
think it could have been Johnny Cow's father, Big Mike Calandrello and Wonder Bread, but I think Big Bun saw that their business was plummeting in New York as the vendors started seeing this revolution happening. They started popping to Kanish's.
After his we'll call it disappearance, I think he just probably died of smoking or something that Georgia people die from.
Yeah, you're drinking too much of the dirty water, dogs.
It never caught out, like it never got out there. Like this recipe or this style, has not been. I think he was about to start an anti-bun revolution, and they put the kibosh.
I think they put the Kanish on him.
I was just gonna say that.
I think Big Bun put the Kanish on Buddy Buddy.
It was those Arnold bread. Let's go Arnold Bread is another bread company. It's like Arnold and Wonder, I think, are the two big ones.
The two big ones, I think, they came together and they're like, we got to do something about this guy. Because listen,
you know how big the bread lobby is.
Their big bread is big. Let me tell you something. They're big and they're dangerous.
You know how big they are? Big
big.
Big bread big.
Big bread big.
Think of bagel big.
That's right. Bigger than bagels.
They're brioche big.
So I'm gonna do some digging. I just can't. I'll never forget the first time. I still go back. I remember exactly where we were in New York, where the steps sort of close to the courthouse where you stopped for the day.
When we used to go in for Christmas.
Yeah, it was in the wintertime.
Yeah.
There's a side story there where we were trying to go to the World Trade Center.
Oh, God. You're never gonna let
And it was
this go.
too expensive to go up.
And now it's...
And our mother, Crazy Carol, said, no, we don't have the money, which realistically we didn't. We're poor and stupid. It completely made sense. She made the right call. But she said, we'll go next time.
Well, they were over.
Fast forward,
were charging a ridiculous
it was a
to
lot.
take an elevator.
It was like $60 a pop.
And, you know, maybe it was just karma.
I don't know. We're past the 10-year mark on that, right? It's funny. Yeah. But I remember
approaching 20.
Yeah, so side story, she said that we don't have the money, we'll go next time. And I never let her live that down, that there is no next time.
This is also why we never asked to visit the Empire State Building, because we don't want to risk it.
That's right, we don't want to risk losing another building.
Having mom say no, like, oh, we better get
the
everybody
bad
out
luck
of here.
here, we better get out of here.
We better tell everyone to leave.
I remember
we used to go see the ships. Where are the ships?
Yeah, the South Street, the Intrepid we saw on the west side.
The Intrepid, that was separate. This was the
South
wooden
Street,
ships.
Seaport,
USS
South Street,
Diversity?
say that 5 times fast. Yeah,
the USS Diversity?
That's right, yeah. We would go there, but I remember he gave it, and Dad used to play it up, and you know how Dad plays a lot of things up.
Like every Yankee game that he was ever at?
JPL 3, yeah.
Like he was always, I was at that game?
Yeah, so he played it up, and I was skeptical, as I usually am, and when
especially when you were younger, you were
I was
very...
a little shit. And even when I looked at it, I was like, it can't be that good, because Kanish's are heavy.
And you also weren't
dense.
a food person as a kid.
No.
Like they had to remind you to eat.
Yeah.
But then you would go back to eat your lunch. I was sitting there and it was gone.
And I think that's why I remember it so much, is because usually you would eat my food first, and I would never even care enough to try, you know. And I took a bite out of this.
We had a good setup going.
That's right.
You were thin and athletic, and I wasn't.
And you were not. And you got rid of all the extra food.
All the extra shells in the fridge.
But not this time, because as soon as I took a bite out of this concoction,
you ran away from me.
I was just like, this is so fucking good. And I couldn't. Sorry, Terrence, family show. Damn it, I forgot again. But I was like, I was hoarding it. I was like, you're not touching this. So I need to go back. I'm gonna do some digging. I already mapped out when I have the time to go around and do some investigating. I will bring weapons. I will have bun nunchucks to throw
in case the bun agents come out and try to get you.
Yeah, in case the bun foot soldiers come out and I have to
men in buns.
Yeah, men in buns. Yeah, any
MIB comes to get you.
Yeah, and they come in with their black suits and their little Wonder Bread pins on.
The little mini bagel throwing discs.
Yeah, instead of the little bagel chips, it's weapons. Yeah. So I'll
now are you going on? You're going on a quest to find him, or are you going to go on a quest to find somebody who can mimic? Because that might just be easier for you. Is just go to a stand that has hot dogs and Kanish. And maybe you could start the trend over, but then you got to be careful. So now they're going to know who you are.
Well, that's the thing too. Is
we should put this out. We got to delete all this.
This is going to be a kind of like a two-pronged attack, if you will.
How about I go and find a guy to redo it, and you try to find the original guy?
Well, so here's the thing: it's got to be done at the same time, because all the vendors know each other. In the vendor world, it's kind of like the magicians community. Everybody knows
He's
each
the
other.
Houdini of these
They're
guys.
Yeah,
He's the
he
legend.
is. He's the legend, and they all took their next step. What's their next magic move in the
Now
hot
you
dog
have,
world
like,
from him?
See, now you have like not Nate. What's the other? What's the pretzel place? Famous like in the mall.
Sabrett's?
No, in the mall.
Auntie
Auntie
Annie's.
Anne's.
They have like the hot dog pretzel. That's probably like a shoot off. Somebody took that idea.
I'm telling you, everything came
Anything-
from Buddy.
Anything that's stuffed with a hot dog, the Pizza Hut crust with the hot dog
That's
in
right.
it, that's in like Europe, all Buddy.
Yeah, he started it all, and so I'm gonna investigate. I'm gonna ask around the community, the different vendors, find out what they know about the situation, if they know what I'm even talking about, because it could be new vendors. There could have been a turnover since then. We don't know.
There was the great, hot dog purge.
That's right. What are you talking about in 2001?
Yeah. That was not a good year for the
Like
city.
a lot of things perish. Never forget. But I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna ask around. I'm gonna see who can duplicate effort.
Are you gonna like just
All
like,
in
like
the
a-
quest.
like an investigative report?
I'll have a ledger, and I'll also try to document where I am on social media so that you can kind of track and follow along.
if there's like a day where you don't pop up, like, all right, we know his last stop was.
Well, yeah, so maybe you can go find me
Yeah.
because I promise you this. And we all know, if we're keeping the tinfoil hats on, we all know how Big Bun and the Deep State operate. If I go missing,
The deep sub.
the deep sub, if I go missing, I did not commit suicide. Okay? Don't believe any quote unquote notes you see, anything I post on social media. It says I had enough of it. I did not. Okay? The Clintons and Big Bun and Wonder Bread, they hit me. They hit me off. They smothered me in buns and bagels, and they don't want me.
I'm gonna get a phone call as the next of kin from some cop. Yeah, it looks like he choked on this semolina. No, he didn't.
Yeah, so you're gonna know, like, oh, he just choked and there was no one there to help him. No, it's false. I'm looking at the camera now. It's not true.
First of all, I know
folks.
how to do personal Heimlich.
I do. I can do individual Heimlich. I'm never gonna eat semolina by myself like that. Dry semolina.
Always eat it out in a crowd.
Yeah, I'm never eating a dry semolina without any oil in it. So the oil would slide right down the gullet anyway.
It's like a lubrication.
That's
yeah.
right. So trust me, there's gonna be foul play, folks. Jabronis. There's gonna be foul play. I promise you that. I'm not going anywhere voluntarily. I'm going to get to the bottom of this, and that's it. That's all I got. I'm going to get to the bottom of this and end the sentence.
Let me know what you need from our capable team on this side of the state line, and we'll help you. We'll be like the guy in the van.
I think I have a lead.
Ow.
I could tell you.
Pistol can interject here.
So I used to work in Manhattan, and one of the offices I would visit was at 51st and Park Avenue. And next to St. Bartholomew's Church on the south side, there was a cart, and they had posted hot dogs in Knish.
This is a lead.
It's a good start.
Look,
It's a good start.
Pistol, I'll give you credit. I didn't think it was going to be a lead. This
I
is a
thought it was
good
gonna be
lead.
bullshit, but
I'm
That's
telling
right.
you, it was 50th or 51st and Park Avenue.
Pete, how far? Do you know
That's
what, do you know
uptown.
what-
That's further
Yeah.
uptown.
Do you know
Yeah.
what 1 PP is? 1 Police Plaza.
That's downtown.
That's all
That's
the way
by the
downtown.
financial
It's in the
district. That's
financial
where I'm
district. Yeah,
venturing.
So how many blocks you talking here?
Oh, geez.
It's
Probably
miles.
Up 30 north?
30 blocks north.
North.
So that's like a 4-hour trip. In New
Look,
York
I
City.
believe the folklore has spread up that far. I believe it has.
Yeah.
It could have.
Or it could be him in disguise in a different area. Because you
He
got to know,
coulda-
people in New York City, they stay in people in the village. They don't go downtown. They hang out in the village.
He
So he
could've-
could have really. He could have. They
could've
could have
done a Dark Knight.
He could have shaved his mustache, gotten a different colored hat, a different trench coat,
Executive jacket,
and just
yeah.
moved uptown.
Yeah, he
'Cause
could
they
have done.
didn't-
He could have done Dark Knight and moved on to like what he did when he went to Europe and then.
Yeah, but he
Albert
just
season
went. He just
later
went 30
on.
blocks north.
Yeah.
That's as far as his Georgian mind can think. He
That's
just
right.
went
Yeah, that
30 blocks north.
That
I'll
was
just
a
go up
different
here and then-
world. It's a
yeah.
different world up
It
there.
is. It is. Oh,
Yeah.
it's you different world downtown, uptown. Like,
Absolutely.
upper,
It is.
So that's what that place that you're talking about is Upper East Side,
Pretty close to Midtown East.
Midtown, like dead Midtown East.
Midtown.
Yeah, so we'll mount the investigation. We'll keep everyone posted. Real quick, I said Albert as the butler. It was Alfred for the Dark Knight. So if
Albert was
anyone
our
heard
grandfather.
that, I don't need Dom Delphia. Don't come calling me that I said Albert by accident. You know what I was talking
Why
about, Dom?
do I see voting for what's his name? Dom what?
Dom Delapia.
Dom Delapia voting for him for some kind of like town treasurer in like Bergen.
Yeah, in some North Jersey
Yeah.
county, like
You
the
know, Dom
Teamsters
Delapia,
Union
the
president.
the mayor of Nutley.
Yeah, he is the. Yeah.
He also is also like the plumber and the electrician. He does drywall work.
Yeah, he's the Teamsters Union president.
Solidarity. Solidarity.
That's him. That's Dom right
That's
there.
Dom right there.
But anyway, that's all I got for today.
That's it.
Thanks again for being on and really for letting me be on here. Pete, thank you for setting this all up. Guys, there's a lot that went into this episode as far as like the technology and the better audio and video and the studio setup. So please don't expect this when we go back to my gutter trash of a studio back home just yet. I'm slowly working on getting a better situation up there. We're baby steps for that, but thank you both again for this. We might do another guest spot next week, depending on my work schedule. Yeah. We might be here again. So if you do have topics you want to hear us discuss, let me know. Post it. You can hit all the spots for Libretti Podcast Diary Show. Apple, Spotify, Anchor, YouTube. You can put comments in YouTube. You can rate in Apple. I read all the reviews. They're super funny, some of them.
Engage with him, guys.
Engage with him, please. I got the email in case you want to go one-on-one, point-to-point, LibrettiPodcastDiary@gmail.com. So far, I have only received that one email.
And it was spam?
No. Well, I received some spam. I received one email months ago. I mentioned it on a previous episode. It was a friend. It was a joke, but he said, I want to see like a girl randomly walk behind you when I was working on the casting couch wearing like a sexy nurse outfit or a sexy firefighter or something like that, some sexy costume. Obviously, we're not doing that. Sorry, Crafty, but
because we already let her go.
Right, but stuff like that is super entertaining. I love reading that stuff throughout the week, so keep it coming. Follow the Instagram page at LPD_show. We'll put, different posts, and that's where the treasure hunts will be and all that good stuff. Nick, you want to plug anything?
Nah.
For work?
Nah, we have too many people listening now, and they're bothering me.
For your work stuff? Yeah, it's JR Cigar. We won't exactly post how to tell you how to find it, but find it.
It's at JR Cigars. Just please don't comment on the video aspect because Greg's getting very upset. People are saying his shots are blurry and he takes it to heart.
Well, I mean, he does work hard on his stuff. I'll give him
works
that.
Very, very hard.
So the blurriness is probably not his fault.
It's not blurry. It's
haters gonna hate.
Exactly.
It's very easy to be a text message tough guy from behind the safety of your keyboard, and in reality, you're just a beta bitch boy.
You need to make a glossary of your terms, and that's what we'll talk about off air.
Maybe that'll be the next episode. I know the previous episode we had together, we talked Jersey Italian stereotypes. Maybe we could do glossary of jabroni terminology.
Yeah, we'll think of something good. Something good.
But thanks again, guys, for listening. I really appreciate it. I love doing this stuff, even if it's for 30 people. It's greatly entertaining for me. I hope you guys enjoy it. I do love when I get the feedback. Even when it's like making fun of me, I really like the trash talk. It's super funny to me. Thank you guys again, Pete, Nick. As always, you guys are awesome. Love you guys, and stay strong.
And I was talking to your mother just the other night. I told her I thought you were an asshole. She said, yes, I think you're right. And all